Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the FPL PubCast, the weekly preview stream where we have a look back at our last game weeks, every game week. And this week, we're going to, as well as doing that, we're going to have a brief look, what can I say, a cursory look at our game week 8 teams, because obviously we've got quite a while to go. And we're also going to have a discussion about what we've learned this season, if anything. And joining me are my two regular co-hosts, Roberto and Nick. How are you doing, Roberto?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Good to be back, and good to get you post-birthday. I think you'll be in the mood, hopefully, for this one.
I'm slightly hungover, listeners. Trig, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Just been out for a run.
Yeah.
Prepare myself for the show.
And our special guest this week is a man I've been trying to get on for quite a while. We've been saying beforehand, Lee, aka FPL Punk. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, really good, mate. Thanks for having me. It's been a bit of a depressing moment hitting the international break, so it's nice to kind of talk some FPL again.
Yeah. It's good to I don't know. It's good to reflect in the international breaks as well, isn't it? You know, sometimes you could just like switch off, but I like to have a think. And you, of course, are on Wildcard, so you will be.
I am indeed
Constantly thinking.
And I'm not one of these that makes all these free transfers and takes a minus 42. I've done it, activated it, and I'm good to go.
So before I start, I will say hello to people in the chat, if I can get the stream up. Hello to Ua. Hello to 7424. Hello to FPL Nightmare. Hi to IM1974. Hi to Claire. Hi to Stream of Vengeance, channel member Stream of Vengeance. I hope you're all well. Okay, so before we get on to our teams, what button am I looking for? We'll have a quick bit of admin. As usual, the streams are all the money we make from super chats and ad revenue goes to charity. We're giving the money to two charities. Mind, who do a lot of work with on mental health in the UK. And for anyone who's not aware, I had a click on their website the other day. It's Mental Health Awareness Day I think it's on Thursday, on the 10th. That's Friday, isn't it? Please do show them some love. And Street Child United, who do a lot of great work with homeless kids around the world. And there are links to both of those in the description. Please do like the stream and subscribe if you're new around here. And last plug for this, the channel was nominated for the FCA's Football Content Creator Awards. I think the voting closes on Sunday, so this is probably the last time I'll plug it. I might do it on Saturday as well. If you'd like to nominate us, vote for us, whatever. The link is in the description below. Okay, so we'll go through teams in order of how we did this week. I'm going to be very careful talking about this man's team because got quite a bit of stick, didn't you, Trig, over the weekend? So 49 points, Trig's team, but still a very healthy rank of 880k. I'll just read it out, Trig, and then I'll hand over to you. So Dubravka with 2, Virgil van Dijk with 1, Senesi 2. Trig? Lacroix with 3, Saka with 8, Ndiaye with 7, Reinders with 3, Bruno Weiss with 3, Haaland captain with 16, João Pedro 2, and Gyökeres 2. So, Craig, you obviously weren't too happy on Saturday night. How did you feel post-game week? Bit of an annoying one?
A bit of an annoying one, really. I mean, it's really just not having Semenyo is the only difference, and kind of tossing up all week whether to take a hit to get him and Gabriel or to just get Saka in. Problem is I had too much money, so I had enough money to get Saka. Otherwise, I probably would have gone the other way. But it's just one of those things that's worked out. I mean, Saka could outscore him in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I think. But it's good to have Saka in there, I guess. But it's just a little disappointing with the international break coming up. Because I had such a good start to the season, and I've kind of been pulled back to the likes of Roberto now.
Yeah, and you have to sort of like sit around. It's like
Yeah, I know.
you want to go again, but you have to sit around with that negative feeling of not doing great for like 2 weeks, don't you? But
It's a lovely feeling when you have a good game week before the international break, isn't it? But when you don't, it's the opposite. It does. It feels like a much longer 2 weeks after a bad game week than a good. But I'm all over it now and looking forward to my new plans.
880k.
I think what calmed me down, actually, I watched a show last night. I think it was Who Got the Assist, and they were all very calm, and they'd all had a bad game week too, and they were all very relaxed about it, and it made me feel a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, Roberto, you've had Semenyo in from game one. You were a bit ahead of a curve there. Do you reckon he is essential?
I mean, he was essential game week 1, in my opinion, but you know, he's just been so good. And yeah, I think prior to last game week, if there was ever a time to bring him in, it was then. But you know, it's kind of it's going to get to a stage where those that don't have him and then sort of continue to persist with putting it off, eventually the week that they do bring him in, well, it will be sod's law that's the week he'll blank, because yeah, I mean, he's been so good, but he's only human, so he's got to end his streak eventually. But yeah, it's just been incredible how good he's been, and yeah, I just don't see any reason why to not have him really. So yeah, I mean, I suppose that is one of the things this team might need, but the defense maybe this week maybe a little bit underwhelming. But to be fair, a lot of defenses outside of the Arsenal defense were pretty poor at the weekend. So yeah, I don't hate it at all. I think it's got a few good options there.
I guess we'll be talking about that when we're looking at our teams for next week, won't we? But
Calais Owen saying Semenyo essential game 1 is the biggest hindsight take of the year. Lee, I mean,
the thing is, a lot of people would have doubted him after the first week. You know, they said, "Oh, it was Liverpool, and you know he's not going to." And that they all actually said that in easier games he wasn't going to produce that same level of output, and that, you know, Wolves, for instance, wouldn't be a Semenyo game, and you know, all these things. He just ticks along, and he's consistent regardless of fixtures. So yeah, I think
last season he was very inconsistent now, and often at the start of a season we'll get a player that scores a couple of goals in game week 1 and then just fades away. That's what normally happens. So Semenyo's been a bit of an outlier in that regard. He's actually carried it on.
Yeah, he has ended the season well as well. I mean, that helps when you've got sort of form going into a season. So yeah, those sort of small discrepancies sometimes where you kind of seek out the differences between players is sometimes where you can gain that edge. And yeah, that's definitely been where the edge has been this season.
I did read an article about him this morning. It said, said he's gone up a level now. I mean, he's only 25 and he's actually gone up a level. If he scores against Palace, I'm going to bring him in. If he doesn't, then I'll just keep on ignoring him until game week 12, I think.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of like Jesse Lingard and Gundogan. You know, back in the day, these players just do sometimes go on incredible form and then drop it. But I always get on them too late. I remember both of those seasons. Leo, what's going to come to you, mate? One, obviously, we'll get to your wild card in a bit, but my biggest disappointment of the week was Gyökeres not being on penalties. Is he in your wild card, or do you think we can't consider him now with all the other Arsenal assets?
I can't. I mean, it's a strange one, because if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season, I thought Gyökeres would have got the penalties anyway. But now I think he's got a couple of goals, had a decent start and looked okay. I think it's 50-50 between them. I think both are going to be good options. I think Gyökeres will still score goals. But everyone's thinking that Saka's 100% nil for penalties. I'm not convinced. Like we saw that he shared Odegaard in the past. I can see this being 50-50. And so because of that, I think there's just too much value in the Arsenal defence for me to go double Arsenal attack. So only one Arsenal attacker for me.
Yeah, it makes. I mean, it's going to be interesting. We'll get onto our transfers in a bit, but I'm more likely to go Saka now than I was before. So my team for game week 7, I'm third down, just slightly below Lee. I was on 67 points, 1.8 million rank. Sells, still I've got him in goal. I've got to get rid of him soon with 3. Gabriel 9, Senesi 2, Konza 2, Bruno 3, Semenyo 18, Reinders 3. In Die, was nice to see him turn Trig after Darius was trying to convince me last week to get rid of him. Evan Nilsson 2, Gyökeres 2, and then Haaland captain. So, I mean, it was like the tiniest red arrow. I think I dropped like 100,000 places, 2 points or something. So I bought Gabriel in over Porro. That worked out. I kind of feel similar to you in a way, Trig. It's a bit like, I played the bench boost 2 weeks ago. That went well. Played the triple captain. Felt I was on a real momentum roll. And then this was a bit like, obviously I didn't have a bad game week as yourself, but it was just like a nothing game week. You know what I mean?
I think we've got to expect a few red arrows now for the next few weeks. This week, a lot of people are going to be using bench boost, aren't they? So I think any green arrow this week without a chip is going to be a big win, because I'm fully expecting another red next week.
Yeah. A lot of people will be doing things like wildcarding at the moment. Lee, any thoughts on my team? Do you reckon I should be hitting the wildcard? I get told to wildcard nearly every single week by another one of our channel regulars, Darius.
I think it looks solid, mate. I think you could wildcard or not. There's some good players in there, and not like Nottingham Forest have just completely put me off since I'm just come in. So I'm just completely off the likes of Sells and Anderson. Like, I'm sure Anderson will still tick along, but I think it looks okay, mate. I think there's a couple of big ones that you're missing out. There's probably a second household defender in there. There's maybe a Saka and stuff, but doesn't look that bad to me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning to hold out to 13 and probably get Saka in this week, which gives me 3 Arsenal. Evan Nilsson, Roberto, I mean, someone said to me the other day, it doesn't even look like he's playing up front. Do you think anyone's got him they need to be getting rid?
Yeah, he just doesn't seem involved at the moment, does he? I mean, a lot of the time it's Evan Nilsson owners just looking out to see if he's involved in the celebrations, because that's the extent of his involvement at the moment. I mean, yeah, he always looks like a player that's going to do well and be threatening, but just feels like he's a little bit peripheral this season so far. Not quite showing the form he showed last season. So, and there's plenty of good strikers out there. So I think I'd probably move on.
Where are they?
Well, the Walter, how do you pronounce his name? I've titled the bloody game. Yeah. Not too much more expensive, is he? A little bit.
No, he's around the same price. I mean, even someone like there's a few like rogue ones, but like Calvert-Lewin, I don't hate because of Leeds fixtures coming up. You know, that's a way to save money. So I think, I'm not too convinced by Evan Nilsson, despite the fact of, he's had not terrible performances, but it's just there's not been the output to match it FPL points wise. So and Bournemouth fixtures are starting to dry up now a little bit. So outside of Semenyo, I probably wouldn't go there now. I think it's probably time to move on.
Yeah. You've been pretty lucky, I think, because you haven't got João Pedro, who's hugely owned, and he hasn't done anything. So the fact that Evan Nilsson hasn't scored doesn't really hurt you, has it? Because everybody else has got João Pedro. But so you've got away with that one a bit there, I think.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. I forgot to say to people saying happy birthday in the chat. Combe, I am not 50. All right, let's move on to Punk's team. So Punk on Lee's team got 1 point more than me, 68, 1.6 million rank. Vicario in goal with 3, Porro with 7, Munoz with 8, Van der Ven 2, Dorgu with 1, Reinders 3, Fernandez 3, Rogers 5, Semenyo 18, Haaland 16, and Watkins 2. Lee, maybe you could just talk us through your game week, and then what was it decided to make you pull the button on the wildcard?
Yeah, I mean, I was quite happy with the game week. I thought Spurs could have done slightly better and got the clean sheet against Leeds. Dorgu being benched was a bit of a killer blow. I mean, I'll just put it out there that Dorgu is, like, it's always been 7 game weeks now. He's only got 10 points in total. We've played Sunderland and Burnley. Yeah, he's got a total of 10 points. We've played Sunderland and Burnley in the first 7 games, and he's got He's I don't know. He's just one of those. I mean, like if he was wondering why I pulled the wild card, like just by looking at the team, I've got triple Spurs, 2 Villa, Man United. There's just a lot of holes in the team. Brought Semenyo in a couple of weeks ago. That was great. What was that,
it looks like a game week 1 team, doesn't it?
it pretty much has. I've made not a lot of transfers, to be honest. I'm still rolling 2 transfers into this. So coming out of 9, I'll have a total of 3 transfers as well. So that's kind of like the plan. I've tried not to do too much, and I'm a bit of a fixture guy. So like when I see Villa with the likes of Burnley coming up, as bad as they've been, I just can't take them out, and maybe that's kind of like a criticism of the way I am. But overall, I've had a few standout performances from a handful of players, and the rest have been blanks. Yeah, I'm happy on wild card, and I think it's time for me to do it.
I think it's a really good strategy to go into a wild card with free transfers. You know, use your wild card rather than use the free transfers, because coming out of a wild card with them, it's a big advantage.
Yeah,
I think you did the right thing. It's just crazy this season that Rodgers and Watkins and unbelievable that they haven't. Rewarded owners more.
Like Rodgers moving into the middle, he kind of played like left wing, left attacking mid, and like moving into the middle, like I thought he'd thrive, and he looks a bit lost in the middle for me. I think he needs to get put back on the left, whether it's Harvey Elliott comes in like to attacking mid to balance things out, but he doesn't look right attacking mid in my opinion. Things just aren't clicking for them.
Yeah, how did you end up with 3 Spurs defence? I mean, they've done you all right though, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. It was coming up to game week 1 deadline, and I had 2. I think I had Vicario and Porro, and then I just thought, fuck it, I'm just going to go triple up, and they've done all right. To be fair, I think they've all on about 30, 35 points in total, so they've done okay for me. To be fair,
Roberto, what do you think about Villa? I mean, I think their good fixtures are over now. Is avoid everywhere, avoid every player.
Yeah, I think so. They've just not been what I think many people expected them to be this season. Obviously, they've had a little bit of momentum back recently at home, but they have played against Burnley and Fulham, so you don't necessarily read too much into that. But they're just far too wishy-washy at the moment for us to put a lot of faith in them and invest all over the FPL positions, really. So yeah, I'd move away now, and I think those that moved early on Villa players are the ones that are laughing, really, because the patience was probably wearing thin for a lot of people that stuck it out just because of the fixtures. And I think this is a thing with FPL that we should take forward. A team with good fixtures, we always think will be playing into good form, but sometimes when it's just not clicking at a club, it's just not clicking, and we should try and move early as much as we can. So yeah, I think that's definitely the recipe for Aston Villa.
Yeah, good points. Okay, let's move on to top of the pile this week. We had a very good week. The ultimate man of indulging in smugness, as the chat have pointed out earlier on, Roberto. Very good week. 85 points up until the top 1,910,000. Team of Pope 7, Gabriel 9, Gavardio 12, Snessi 2. It's a very good game week, Roberto. Minter 2, Semenyo 18. Kudos, who you were a bit last time you were on. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it was when I was on the form. It's temporary last week. You were, on R-ing over a bit, but he came back for you with 12. Fernandez 3, Gyökeres 2, Holland 16, and Pedro 2. You must have been pleased with that one, man.
Yeah, very happy. The wildcard team proving fruitful in game week 7. Yeah, very happy with it. Especially like Pope was in I wildcarded him in for the Arsenal game, and when he conceded those 2 late goals, it was very frustrating. But nice to see him get a lovely 7-pointer this week. Semenyo, as we've said already, just so good. But yeah, I think I was more pleased with just the amount of players that got returns more than anything else. I mean, Minter, with that fixture against Wolves, I was kind of getting excited about that. But he's looked really good from an eye test point of view. So happy to sort of stick with him as a nice differential option. And yeah, the rest of them, I think they're just all very solid options at the moment. And you know, Reinders, I had a benching decision between him and Pedro, and in the end, it didn't matter. But it's nice to have that option from week to week because it can just give you that flexibility where the fixtures are a little bit worse. So yeah, very, very happy with it. And Haaland on the captaincy was a bit of a sort of simple one, but happy to get the return. It would have been nice to have Semenyo, but I don't think I was really ever considering it.
Yeah, and I like the fact
Saka.
Yeah, I like the fact you got Pope and Minter in. I think you're a bit ahead of the curve with those two. Would you say, Trig?
Well, I don't know about ahead of the curve with Minter. I mean, he hasn't done anything to make his curve go up.
Got some good fixtures coming.
Head of the flat line.
Well, he got a wonderful assist against your boys, Nick. Chelsea.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I've seen him in a few teams. I just assumed he was a review pick.
I'm 1974 saying, so this is why Roberto's available this week.
Yeah, it's all about timing. That's the key.
Lee, Gavardio, do you think people have been overlooking him? He's had a good start this season. You don't see him in many content creators' teams, do you? Well, I haven't anyway.
No, and I'm not even considering him as well, and maybe I need to. I'm just looking at the fixtures now. Like fixtures aren't that bad. I mean, they think that they've got some difficult fixtures in there, but I think there's some winnable games for City. I think Rodri's a big blow for them again. It feels like kind of back square one from that defensive kind of unit. Just depends where he plays for me. Like if he plays left back, he's great. When he moves into the centre, I don't love him as much. So it just depends on that.
Yeah. Do you know he's done for Defcon?
No, I don't. I'll check them.
I think the goalkeeper is good for an extra few clean sheets as well, isn't he? I mean, he's a world-class goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It's got to add a few clean sheets in there, even without Rodri, I think.
Okay. All right. So we'll go on to have a look at our game week 8 teams and our early thoughts in a minute. But there's one sort of talking point we've got for this week. And, it's the international breaks. It's a good time to, I think, have a sit back and think about just generally what have we learned so far, obviously from an FPL perspective. So I said to the lads beforehand to have a think about it. I've written down a few notes here. I'm going to start off with a controversial one. Is Salah finished, lads, as an FPL option?
Ooh, it's a bold claim. I don't think you can ever rule him out. I think he's proven time and time again that he can bounce back. It's just not clicking for him right now. I won't go out and buy him right now, but he's going to come back at some point. It's like the whole thing about like classic permanent kind of thing, and I think we will see it at some point, like whether that's pre-AFCON or post-AFCON, but I think we will see it at some point.
Even at that price?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
Trig, what do you reckon his salary? Is he finished as an FPL option? At the price
he's at the price he's at, I don't think he's going to be value. He is going to score goals at some point or other, but I think we probably need to pivot away from him. Like even in game week 13, when Liverpool have got great fixtures, it's hard to say that Salah's going to be the best asset from that team even. It could well be Isaac that is the one that we end up. Even Wirtz could come good at some stage. No, he could do. Isaac, the only problem with Isaac, of course, is Akateke is always around, isn't he? But it's Salah. Yeah. I mean, Liverpool have changed so much, haven't they, without Trent? And I said it near the end of last season that Salah without Trent is just he's just not the same.
The second one
he got heavily criticised too, didn't he? Because of that Chelsea goal at the end when he was running the other way up the pitch from Cucurella. And like Slot's going to start noticing, if he's not producing all these attacking returns, then he's a liability defensively. And he's in the twilight now, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's going to have his moments, isn't he?
Yeah. I'll go through the points I've got, and then I'll ask you lads what you think. Roberto, Haaland, second point I got down that I think we've learned from the season, Haaland is the only premium worth owning.
I think it's tricky to say that. He's the best premium to own, but is he the only? I would say no, because there's just the way this season's gone with the fixtures and the way it's fallen is it's all about fixture hopping. Like there is no like consistent run of fixtures for many sides this season at all. So it's like, you know, from the start of the season, you'd say, okay, so far Saka's been underwhelming and Palmer's been underwhelming. But there will be a stage where the fixtures turn good for those teams and we'll have to reinvest in them alongside having the likes of Haaland. So I think we have to be open to spending the money in other premium positions. But yeah, at the moment, Haaland is the one that's probably not going to move out of our sides. But I think we just have to be willing to alternate between others because it is like still very sort of gettable for these premiums to prove themselves. There's still plenty of the season to go, and you know, class is permanent. They don't just become bad players overnight. So I expect us to be going back to them very soon.
Lee, another one I've got noted down here from my observations. Defcons are now more important than attacking returns for defenders. Would you agree with that?
Oh, it feels that way. It's kind of like shiny new toy syndrome, isn't it? It's such a strange one when everyone wants Sinessa, but I think the left back, Truffert has looked decent too. I think Juve from West Ham has got something like 4 assists so far. Like these guys would all be in our teams in previous years.
Yeah,
I would probably argue the player pool almost feels smaller than it was last year. It kind of like it feels like if you don't have good fixtures and you're not decent for DEFCON, maybe combined with the occasional like goal involvement, it's not even worth considering anymore. So I think they're a good addition to the game, but I think they have the drawbacks too.
Yeah, I think they work better in midfield than in defence. In defence, it's just really narrowed the options, isn't it? Yeah. Whereas midfield, they kind of add to the options.
Do you think Caicedo and Rice are... I think I heard Steve-O say that Yelena had brought Rice into her team last game week, which is obviously very good. Do you reckon they're reasonable options now, Trig?
Yeah, I think they're great. Especially, I was talking about Rice on my video last week, I think, and... they are. I mean, Caicedo's gone up a gear, hasn't he? If he can keep his shooting boots on, then he's going to be a huge... People are still ignoring him, aren't they, and getting Enzo Fernandez instead. But I think Caicedo's probably better because even when Palmer comes back, Caicedo will still be good, whereas Enzo won't be as good once Palmer's back, which could be quite a while away, though, I think. But yeah, no, I think DEFCONs for midfielders have been good. And it's not been the ones we thought, has it? We all thought Anderson of Forrester's going to be the one. But
Bruno's done
lots of others.
Bruno's done quite well, hasn't he? Always in.
Well, he keeps getting 11.
Yeah, but it's a avenue I don't think we probably... I mean, we thought he might get some, but I think he's doing better than expected.
He should get 12 this week against Liverpool, I'd say. I'd be surprised. Or does he get them in the easier games? I think he was getting them in the easier games, wasn't he? With recoveries. He got them against
Burnley. I remember.
Yeah, he was getting them from recoveries. So maybe he won't get them against Liverpool.
Yeah. Trig, who... I mean, obviously coming into the season, everyone would have said the teams to target, Burnley, Sunderland, Leeds. I'll ask you firstly, is that still the case? And do you think there are other teams in there instead? I mean, I personally would say Forest.
I think they are on the slide. They are on the slide. Sorry, was that the question?
No, I put it to you, Trig, but we'll come to Lee next.
Yeah, no, I think they are gradually getting worse. This is what happens with a promoted side normally, isn't it? Once the novelty of being in the Premier League wears off and they get a few injuries. But I think they're better than last season's ones. But I think there's going to be a few batterings at some stage.
Even Leeds?
But yeah, Leeds haven't been too bad, have they, defensively?
No.
Wolves haven't been great, but they might improve. I think really what we've learned, we haven't learned as much as we think we've learned, in my opinion. I think this international break, a lot of managers are going to go away and work out what's not been going right at the start of the season, and things are going to start changing. So I think you've got to be careful when you think you've learned things, because often we haven't, because FPL and football teams evolve really quickly. I mean, Liverpool could come back after the international break, a much better defensive side than they have been. And, you know, things are going to change, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, Leg, what were you going to say?
Oh, I think I was just going to repeat what kind of Nick said. I've been quite impressed with the new promoted teams, to be honest. I think they've looked pretty good. I think Sunderland have recruited well. They've done. I thought they'd be bottom of the pack, and they've actually done okay. I've been quite impressed with a few of them. I think since Andrew's come in and taken over Forest, they just look horrific. Brentford feels like goals galore every single game. There's definitely teams down at the bottom. Like, I'm just looking at the table now. Like, even Aston Villa, I conceding goals. So I think there's teams down there that are still conceding goals. But it's not the newly promoted teams as low as what I thought it would be. They've impressed me, to be fair.
Roberto, who would be your 3 teams to target from an attacking
Yeah, from an attacking point of view, I suppose Wolves have just been so underwhelming, really. I did think watching that Brighton game on Sunday that, you know, that they had to get one over the line eventually, but it was just a weird decision. They took off Hwang on like 60 minutes for Agbadu, and it was like they just accepted sitting back and inviting the pressure. And it's a weird situation going on there at the moment. So I'd probably say them, probably still Burnley, and then, to be honest, the team that I'm just thinking we could probably keep targeting is Forest, because, I mean, Ange is just not really getting them, you know, in a position of confidence at all. And each game I watch them, it becomes harder and harder to recognise them from last season. Yeah. You know, very similar group of players, but I think just their confidence is shot at the moment. So,
isn't it similar because he might even be getting the top? So,
yeah, that's what I've heard.
Well, the Forest fans don't like him. That's basically the kind of lowdown on it. But whether or not that actually means Marinakis is actually thinking about it, I don't know. But he's got to be given more time. But yeah, at the moment it's looking very bleak, because they just don't seem to have the same simple skills that they had last season in the team. It's kind of crumbled out of nowhere, really. And, you know, it just shows what a few bad performances does to a start of a season. But yeah, as Nick was saying, the narrative might change on teams like Forest quite soon, because we know they've got the quality, and that's why we all sort of invested in them earlier on in the season.
I'll just say, Paul Huss is saying in the chat, FPL Nightmare, you deserve the FCA award if your blogs. If you do want to vote for Nightmare, Steve-O, ourselves, whoever, an independent content creator, the link's in the description. Lee, would you say, I mean, I would say Semenyo's essential. I'm sorry I keep mentioning his name, Trig. Try not to give you PTSD type symptoms here. But do you think anyone else is so far when you consider price as well?
Oh, I was looking at the most amount of points each position has scored, and out the top page of midfielders, I think these are like 10 or 11. Only one of them is more than 7 million, and that's Semenyo. So that's all the other guys down there, like Caicedo and all the other cheap guys. They're the ones that are clicking, to be honest. I think outside of Haaland, Semenyo, Arsenal defenders, I think they're the only ones I can really like look at and have confidence that they're going to return on a semi-regular basis. Outside of that, just feels a bit like taking a chance and taking a gamble. Like I think Roberto mentioned it before about kind of almost fixture hopping between different teams and trying to target these like little short periods of nice fixtures. But no, I can't really put my hat on anyone to say that I'm that confident in to start scoring these amount of goals and getting these points on a regular basis. Because like you look at Palmer's injured, we don't know if Saka's fully on penalties or not. Salah's not doing it. Like the rest of the attackers, whether it's Isak and Gyökeres and Watkins, like they're all just, yeah, I'm not sure.
You see that comment, Trig, from Gary Triggery Trigger.
Yeah, I've just seen that.
What about yourself, Trig? Anyone apart from Semenyo you think is, well, I hate using the term, but essential from what we've seen?
I don't think anybody's essential, even Semenyo. I mean, I don't. Well, Haaland at the moment is, I think, because of captaincy. But look what happened last season when it switched around between Haaland and Salah. And things can change so quickly in FPL, very quickly, and. Nobody's essential. I mean, I think Saka could be coming into a run where he could be kind of highly desirable, but we just don't. Even the defenders, I think, like Senesi, everyone bought him in on the game week 6 wildcard, but he hasn't done much the last 2 weeks. And you could well see in a few more weeks when Bournemouth's fixtures aren't so great for the next 3 or 4 that suddenly he's going to get a few blanks and it'll be somebody else. There's, I looked at all the wildcard teams people are making this week. Like, they're all taking out João Pedro to bring in Voltemada, who's like considered the in thing at the moment. But over the next 5 or 6 weeks, Pedro could easily outscore them. It's like you took out Pedro Porro. He could come back and suddenly become good. And, people are just swapping one set of good players for another set of good players. And we just don't know how it's all going to play out, really. But things do change. That's the important thing.
I say that to Paul, saying great lineup this evening. Thank you, mate. And what was the other thing I saw? The Bravka. I'm 1974 saying the Bravka is essential. It's probably actually true. I can't see anyone else. Roberto, I'll ask you, mate. Any before I ask you, I'll then come and ask you for your individual thoughts on what we've learned so far. Any players you would say are essential? Yeah,
it's tricky, isn't it? Because as Lee and Nick have kind of already touched on, things change very quickly, and the landscape is very dependent on chips usage. What part of the season we own certain players. I don't think he's essential, but I think he's close to it. And I would Semenyo is, but outside of that, I actually think that Kudus might become essential, because genuinely, I just think in every single game so far this season, I've not seen a Mohamed Kudus bad performance. Like, it's just, for me, in that new role, I think he's just been given the license to cause chaos.
What did you say on the Form is Temporary podcast when I was on there last week then? I think I may have made a mistake keeping Kudus in my wildcard.
Oh, that was all part of the plan, Gary, to keep him differential. To keep his ownership down. But yeah, I just really love watching him. He's one of those players where as soon as he picks up the ball, he just makes it so something happen out of nothing. And I think this, as we've said, fixture hopping's important, but there are caveats in certain circumstances, and I think Tottenham are one of them, where that even if they get a few goals conceded, they are just going to always be capable of getting goals back. And I think he is a key part of that. So don't mind him. And maybe Saka. But the thing is, we've not seen Saka like at his peak yet to what we know he can do.
No.
But very soon Saka could become that because of the fixtures for Arsenal and what we know he's capable of. But he's just not had the sort of run of fitness so far to kind of get to that potential yet.
Yeah, he's been on.
Yeah, a word on Saka. I think Arteta's desperate to win the league this year. I mean, they're top of the league. He's desperate to win it. Saka played 90 minutes the other day. I think we're going to see a lot of Saka now, and he's going to get back to the level he was at. He's a great player, and I think he could be the one. Roberto's right on Kudus, but Tottenham have had very easy fixture run, haven't they? So that's going to change soon. And but I think the main thing we learned from Roberto is that recency bias is very prevalent.
So that's a double pivot podcast there. So I'll just come to you individually. Trig, you said you had some stuff to say. What was your individual?
Oh no, that's basically it. I haven't really. It was all been said.
It's all been said. Lee, have you got anything to add?
Yeah, a couple of things. So we kind of touched on DEFCON briefly. I mean, like the first question is like is anyone actually a fan of it? I was a Sky Fantasy player as well, and I liked the different kind of tiers they had in there. I think it's added something to the game, but like Nick mentioned, I think it's better for the midfielders as opposed to defenders. Like I think it decreases the size of the player pool. And do you think this is going to lead to people going big at the back, 5 at the back? I don't think I could bring myself to do it. I think there's just too much upside in the forward line to be able to go fully big at the back. Because I think we are going to hit a point when we are going to want to distribute these funds. And if everything's tied up in defence, it's just going to make it slightly more difficult. But yeah, so that's just my question, really. Are you a fan of DEFCON to begin with? And do you think 5 at the back is going to make a very swift return?
Trig, I'll go to you with that, mate.
Yeah, I think 5 at the back's viable. Very viable. But yeah, they need to sort the balance out, I think, between the positions, because there's a whole pool of defenders are now just not worth. Like Trafford was mentioned, I think, and he's a prime example. And even the likes of Dorgu, although he hasn't done much, you know, the defenders that rely on attacking returns have just been ignored. And I don't know what they can do about it, but the balance doesn't seem right, does it, really?
No.
It's had a narrowing effect.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all pretty much got the same defenders.
Where they reverse the amount of DEFCON they need. So forwards need 8, midfielders 10, defenders 12. I think that might balance things up slightly from like a positional point of view. I think because we're just not seeing that many forwards get it. So even though these hard-working forwards that might drop a little bit deeper, just aren't hitting it. So
that makes sense. Because 10 would be good for midfielders as
That's
well.
what I think. Yeah, but I don't understand why they can do that.
No.
Because you think
12's a very high bar for midfielders.
Well, it's easier for them to get it, the defenders, isn't it? So you think, if anything, it should be a lower bar for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we had FPL Nightmare come on and give 5 at the back a big talking up, didn't we? A few weeks ago. What's your thoughts on that strategy, Roberto, if you are free there? I think he may not be. I'll give my opinion. My opinion is, I don't know, I just don't like playing FPL that way. It just feels a bit negative. I mean, obviously, go on, Trig.
I think a plus to it at the moment is there's no expensive midfielders that are firing, so it probably is going to work. But what would happen if Palmer, Saka, Salah were all doing really well? Then it would be in trouble, wouldn't it? The 5 at the back, surely.
Yeah, and I think we will return to this conversation when FPL Nightmare is on with Alan from FPL in a few weeks. Roberto, did you have any general thoughts, mate, before we move on? Not sure what he's up to there.
Could be up to anything there.
He could be up to anything. Right, let's leave him to it. All right, let's move on then. So we'll move on to your wildcard, Lee. So I'll read through it, and then you can talk us through it. And then we do have a tendency. I mean, you're a bit lucky, Lee, that you're not on with Lynn, because she is very, very, very quite harsh when it comes to ripping the pot. And Darius, you're actually on with 2 of the slightly what's the word? Less aggressive, I should say. So in goal, you've got Raya, defense Saliba, Chalobah, and Senesi. Reinders, Saka, Gordon, and Semenyo in midfield. Watermard, is that how you say the name? Watermard? Haaland and Bowen up front. Haaland captain, and then Dubravka, Caicedo, Rodon, and Richards in defence. If you just want to talk us through it, I'm going to go for my usual powdering my nose during the while you're doing that, and then maybe Trig and Roberto can come in with their opinions.
I think the Zerl might be shooting off as well. Yeah, so this team isn't locked in by any stretch of the imagination. Kind of like my thought process was, I want double Arsenal defence, I want Saka, and then because it's during the international break, I feel like I can almost target those potential price rises. So this isn't locked in at all. I just can't decide whether I want to go down the route of the double Arsenal defence of Saliba and Raya, or Saliba and Gabriel, or whether Timber comes into that as well. So there's a few different things from that point of view. But I really like Shalba. I think he's kind of going under the radar a little bit. Like Chelsea's fixtures just get really nice after a certain point. So I think he's got something like 2 or 3 goal involvements, a couple of clean sheets, and I think outside of his red cards that have been a bit of like a sticking point, I think he's just done really well. Senesi just feels like a lock. It's a bit of a, I feel like I'm jumping on the bandwagon almost, and I don't kind of love going down there, but I think they look decent. Bournemouth look good. He looks good. He's getting DEFCON, so I'm going to go for it. Reinders is a lock. Saka's a lock. Anthony Gordon, I'm not fully sold on this one, and this is another position that I feel I could maybe gamble on someone else, and like whether that was taking him all the way down to upgrade another position, like it's something I thought about. Same with Altamada as well. I'm not sure if he's 100% lock-in or not. There just doesn't seem that many options from particularly the forward line when there aren't too many outside of these, in my opinion. Maybe Mateta, but fixtures don't look great. I'm not fully sold on João Pedro. Probably as crazy as that sounds, I'm just not convinced. I think the loss of Palm was huge for them. And maybe you'll disagree on that one, Nick. But I just don't see it with João Pedro, to be honest. But yeah, any thoughts? Any criticisms?
Yeah. No criticisms as such. I never criticise players that people put in. But have you thought of going to a 3-5-2? And what about Fernandes? What are your thoughts on Fernandes?
Had him, and it's a difficult one because like I'm obviously a Man United fan, and sometimes I feel like I approach it with these like red tinted glasses almost. And I think if he banks those 2 penalties, I don't think we're having this conversation at all. I feel like he's 100% in every, like in every single team, and you've probably got probably over the past 10 years, one of the best penalty takers the Premier League's seen. He misses 2 penalties out of his last 3, and all of a sudden he's like the worst player in the league. But I was looking at his underlying data, and it's pretty similar to what it was for the whole of last season. So it's not like he's not having that output. It just doesn't feel like things are quite right from position. Like he doesn't like that 6 and that centre mid. Feels like he's not hitting the DEFCON at times, and he's not getting threat. Things just don't feel right, and it's kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like it.
Have you played your bench boost yet?
Not yet.
Is that why you've got Caicedo? That's why you've got Caicedo, I guess. Yeah, so you can play a decent bench boost.
Yeah.
I think you haven't got too much on the bench. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, isn't it? But if you've got a bench boost to come, it's still good. Yeah, no, I quite like it. I would consider going to a 3-5-2 or even a 4-4-2. You get that flexibility. Once you get a 4.4 striker in, then it gives you those 2 options, doesn't it? But the strikers just aren't firing, are they? I mean, I don't disagree with you on João Pedro. I think he's got as much chance as anybody of coming good in the next 7 weeks. I mean, someone's good, but we just don't know who. No. Bowen's been the only one who's been consistent, hasn't he, really?
Yeah, it looks good. And the thing is with João Pedro, he's such a good footballer. Like everything you watch about him, like he's just really classy. But he just doesn't score enough for me.
He's being marked out when he plays as a striker. He's too easily marked out of the game. I think they need to play Gui as striker and just have João Pedro in number 10.
Oh, I've just sold him. Don't say that.
I can't see him doing
there. I think I sold him at 4.3.
The manager doesn't seem to like Gui much, but I think they should bring him in and put Pedro at the 10. Not because Gui's great, but it'll make João Pedro better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We got
any thoughts, Aaron, Roberto?
I'm just gonna say one quick thing, and then I'll bring Roberto in. So 58% say Haaland is the only premium worth owning, and I'm gonna do a quick rate Punk's wildcard. Go, Roberto. Give us your thoughts, mate.
I really like it. There are some, brilliant footballers in this team and FPL assets. The likes of Chalobah, great pick. You got the likes of Semenyo. I also think having the double up Newcastle is nice because many people on wildcard will just have one, so it gives you a little route to some different points there. I think this is actually a really exciting team. The only thing I would say is just going against Gabriel. I know Saliba's there as a decent option, but I just think the goal threat is hard to avoid, and it's just with Saliba, he's the sort of player where for a lot of the game he'll look like he's going to get bonus, and then he'll just like get booked, or Arsenal will concede, and then you just think maybe going with Gabriel. But honestly, I think you could definitely take that on. And I also don't hate Caicedo, because I've seen a lot of people kind of anti CDMs this season, despite the DEFCON points. But to be fair to him, Caicedo this season, he's been prolific. Like, I don't know what's changed in his game, but yeah, he's done really well. So yeah, I've got to say I rate this one, Lee, for sure.
So on that note, Gabriel's actually in my live team right now just to catch the price rises. And I was just chatting to Nick then about whether to decide whether I'm going to double up on the Arsenal defence in terms of Saliba and Raya, or Saliba and Gabriel. And I think I prefer Saliba and Gabriel, to be honest, and maybe do like a 4-4-2. Not sure if I'd go that way or not, or whether to upgrade elsewhere. But like with this team right now, I've got nothing left in the bank, so I could have to find something to get Saliba to Gabriel.
Steve-O.
How much is Gordon?
7.4.
Steve-O just
So
saying.
you could go down to a Kudos or somebody, couldn't you, and get a Gabriel in?
Steve-O Elite
I just saw a bit
FPL
of
just
file
saying.
of it
Sorry, Lee. He's saying in the chat, team similar to mine. I think he's a wild card. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, Lee.
Maybe.
The only question I would have was, I quite like it as well, but Bowen, what's the motivation behind him, considering West Ham's? I mean, he started the season right, hasn't he? But West Ham haven't been great.
Yeah, I think it's been good. Maybe it's the Nuno effect, and I've just got this. They can't be any worse than what they've been, and like we was talking about defensive before and about like who's the team to target, and like I don't think anyone mentioned West Ham, even though they're 18th, 19th. Like, well, I think we've just got this thing that Nuno's going to fix them, and they're going to become a good team. And I think Bowen's just too crucial to them to not consider, really.
Nightmare's saying he preferred Dan Burn over Gordon in a 4-3-3. Would you rate to that, Luke?
Yeah, I had Dan Burn at one point. I just think I prefer Chalobah and Sineth over Dan Burn. But he's definitely on the shortlist for me. Like, he's got this quite a small list of players I've got, and Dan Burn's on there.
Your sound's a little bit stuttery, Lee. I don't know if it's the internet. But
no, it's just me, I think.
No, it's fine now. It's fine now. No, it's a little bit of a niner. So I've asked the chat to rate your wild card. We've had 32 votes. I'll give it another minute. It's not looking too bad at the minute. Not looking too bad. Any plans? What are you going to do with? You said you had free transfers. Have you got any plans? Or are you just keeping them for when you need them?
Yeah, just keep them back pocket. I mean, it's like it kind of gives me a chance to almost do like a mini wild card in a couple of weeks' time. And if it looks like Salah is the world beater that he's been in previous years, I can just completely revamp. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, maybe not make a couple of transfers now for 2 or 3 weeks, just see what happens. And then we obviously get the 5 free transfers again in game week 15, is it? So it feels like I can almost do 2 mini wildcards between now and game week 19 or so.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a little bit jealous of this. So I did consider wildcarding myself, but right, let's have a look.
It's not too late.
Let's have a look at the poll results. We have got 62% good, 19% great, 14% meh, and only 5% rubbish. So I think we're all in agreement.
I'll take that.
Pretty good wildcard. It's a pretty good wildcard.
Anyone who said rubbish, send me a message on Twitter and
Tell him what
we
to
can have
think.
some.
And do, by the way, the link to Punk's channel is in the description. Do go and subscribe.
Nah, just subscribe here instead. Save yourself the clicks. Subscribe here, man.
No. Very big, both big fans of your content. So we'll go into Trig's team next. Trig has got the Bravkering goal at home to Leeds. Virgil van Dijk. Actually, to us, I'm just going to read out the names because I think we can focus on the fixtures next week. Virgil, Senesi, and Rondon. Saka. Can you start? Oh, he's playing away with Burnley. Reinders at home to Everton. Fernandes away to Liverpool. And then Haaland captain. João Pedro away to Nottingham Forest. Gyökeres away to Fulham. Any early thoughts on what you're going to do, Trig?
I haven't decided who's on the bench yet or not. It's quite tricky in terms of the bench and whether to start Stack or Lacroix or Senesi or Rodon, and all of those are quite difficult. But I'm expecting another Red Arrow because it's not a fantastic looking team this week. But I'm going to save for free transfer because I want 2 free transfers for game week 9 when I'm thinking I'm going to downgrade Gyökeres to a 4.4 striker or even a 4.3 striker if one exists. And possibly then I might get Senesi in as my 5th midfielder. I mean, Semenyo, sorry, or somebody else. But I want 2 free transfers. I did think about Virgil van Dijk to Gabriel this week. Roberto, I say I have to do Fernandez to Semenyo, but I won't be doing that. And so I'm just going to save for transfer. But yeah, I don't know about Stack. We've been hearing some bad things about Stack, how Longstaff has stolen his set pieces. So I might well not start Stack. And if I do that switch next week, Stack will be coming out for Semenyo quite possibly.
Oh, you can't get rid of Stack after he's so good to you on that bench boost, Trig.
That's why he was there for that bench boost. Yeah, but his role's changed apparently. Longstaff's taking all his free kicks and that he was on.
Okay.
So that's what's kind of putting me off putting him in the starting lineup this week. I don't think I should start in Doivo against Man City, but I don't know if people are doing that or not. Have you got him benched as well?
Not third bench, but I've got him benched, yeah. I mean,
Reinders I want some points from as well this week.
I mean, he can always come up with a penalty. That's the thing with him, isn't it? You can't rule him out.
Yeah, that's it,
like
isn't
he did
it?
last week. Roberto, any thoughts?
City have been quite good defensively, haven't they?
Yeah.
Recently.
Roberto,
I don't know which keeper to play either. So, sorry.
That's all right. Roberto, which keeper would you start? And any thoughts on Trig's team? Sorry.
I'd start Dubravka. I think I'm probably going to do the same this week because I just think like it's a sort of fixture. I think most of the head-to-heads between the promoted sides will be cagey, as we saw earlier in the season with Burnley against Sunderland. So I think that makes sense. And then, yeah, I'm not so sure about Stack, to be honest. I think we all got a little bit overexcited about him. And I can't remember what I think I considered putting him in. I don't know if I ended up doing it in the end. I don't think I did on the wild card because of that one game against Wolves. But yeah, going forward, I'm not sure about him. And the front three, I think, is perfect, Nick. I think you've got that then now to a T. But it's just maybe the amount of money you've spent in Virgil when you could maybe look at some of the other cheaper options. But yeah, the rest of it, I think is very solid, especially with Saka in there. I like the Saka pick for sure.
Lee, I just had a look at your go back to your wild card there. You've got Reinders. Oh, a super chat. Thank you so much, Cooker, with $13.99 something, some sort of currency of money. Lee, yeah, Reinders, you've got him in your team. Do you think we need him? I mean, I've heard a few people maybe going off of him recently. You know, he's not quite returning. You know, in game week 1, it was like a hit for him, wasn't it? And you know,
well, I think it's his price point, isn't it? Like he's so cheap. I don't expect returns every single week from him. But it's like it's hard for me to move off a Man City player who's like particularly like in that forward line, and that's what I want him more than anything. It feels like he's not that expensive that I could even bench him some weeks as well. That I've got that rotation, and it doesn't feel as bad. Whereas like I can see Ndai on the bench there, and that feels like a bit of money to be left on the bench that could potentially be used elsewhere. Because Reinders is a bit on the cheaper side, and I could potentially bench from time to time. So that's kind of what makes me go for him. And I'm still waiting for that Man City kind of thrashing out they just seem to throw out from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move on to my team. So I have got Dubravka in goal as well, home to Leeds. Gabriel away to Fulham, Celestia away to Crystal Palace. Esteve, playing Esteve at home to Leeds. Fernandez away to Liverpool. Semenyo away to Crystal Palace. Reinders at home to Everton. Anderson, why is he still in there? at home to Chelsea, Evan Nilsson away to Crystal Palace, Gyökeres away to Fulham, and then Haaland captain. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sort of planning to hold on to the wild card to game week 13, but I do think my mind has been twisted a lot by hearing so many content creators going, wait to 13, wait to 13, wait to 13, wait to 13.
Naval you says.
Yeah. Roberto, I've seen your text. No worries, mate. It's no worries. When you need to go, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. And so I'm kind of like, I was thinking about hitting the wild card, but I think I can hold out to 13, but it is going to involve using players like Esteve. I'm going to get the free Arsenal win, and 99% sure I'm going to go Fernandes to Saka, which FPL Review does not like, because FPL Review actually has Fernandes on more than Saka. So I'm going to go against my FPL Review FPL boy label and probably bank my transfer. Although, to be honest, I'd probably prefer to have two defenders. So looking at it, I'm not really happy. I'm not happy, Chris.
You're going to wimp out. You're not selling Fernandes. He tells you not to. I'm looking forward to you selling Fernandes. I just don't think you're going to do it.
That was the plan. That was the planned transfer for the last 2 weeks. It was Gabriel in.
But don't wildcard. You look at your team, right? And it's no worse than the wildcard team. The only difference is your team's not full of players that scored last week.
Yes.
And wildcard's just recency bias. These players are just as good as the ones that are going in people's wildcards. The only difference is, like I said, they didn't score points last week, unlike all of Lee's picks.
I'm starting Esteve, Trig. I'm starting Esteve. It is getting pretty desperate.
What's wrong with Esteve?
And
They're home to
Anderson.
Lee.
And Anderson away to Chelsea. Home to Chelsea.
Home to Chelsea. Yeah, he'll probably get DEFCON now. He'll get you 4 points.
Yeah.
He's due an assist or something, isn't he?
I don't know. Would you wildcard this, Roberto?
I think I would, yeah. Because it's a sort of team that has a few changes that, if you could get rid of all the players you need to in 1 week, you're probably looking at a minus 12.
5 or 6 need to go, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean,
none of that starting lineup needs to go.
Oh, I think Esteve, Anderson, and Evan Nilsson as
But
starters.
you're playing Burnley goalkeeper this week. You just said they were good.
Yeah, but Esteve, when he gets sent off, probably it won't be a good.
Scores 2 own goals.
Yeah, well, he's had a habit of doing that. But no, I think I don't like Konza. I don't like Sells. I think there's enough changes that it would tempt me towards wildcarding. Yeah.
Yeah, I've sort of avoided looking at it really since Sunday when I did my members only video, because I knew if I did, I would get more and more closer to the wild card. But I don't think I can now, Lee. I think if you're going to wild card, would you say you probably could have already done it, like yourself?
Maybe just. I think I want to catch the price rises. I think that's one of the big things from it. I don't think the team's that bad. I know I've pulled mine, but I had triple Spurs defense. I had 2 Villa. I had a lot of issues in my team. I don't think your team's that bad. I think you put Bruno to Saka and maybe one other move, and that's I think it's decent, mate. I think it's all right.
Well, I've hit the.
Can you not afford to do Anderson to Rice? Could you afford to do that?
I can't remember how much I got in the bank, to be honest. I think I've got about 1.8. So
That's enough to do it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Saka is. Steve actually was talking about this on one of his Patreons this week. Saka is so much more of a sexy pick than Rice. I don't know. Maybe I'm. Yeah, I don't know. I've asked the chat to tell me if I need to wildcard or not. While we do that, because I know Roberto needs to go in about 15 minutes. We'll have a look at Roberto's Game Week 8 team. So the Brav crew are getting in goal: Gabriel, Bavadio, Senesi, and then in midfield, Reinders, Semenyo, Kudos, your main man, Bruno Fernandes, and then Gyökeres, Haaland captain, and João Pedro up front. What are your thoughts for this week? See, I look at Roberto's team. I'd be happy with it.
Yeah.
It's not much different than yours.
Yeah, I agree.
Go, Roberto. Talk us through it. Talk us through it, mate.
I mean, it's tricky. Every week I look at my team. I'm like, do I need to change it? Probably not.
How many transfers, mate, and money?
I think I've got 2 because I'm pretty sure. I rolled last week because I'd wildcarded the week before that. So 2 frees. I don't actually think I've got any money in the bank. I might have 0.2. So it's basically nothing. Yeah. Oh, actually, I've got 3 free transfers. I think I carried one over into the wildcard. So yeah. So I've got moves I can make here, but I don't know, my blind faith in João Pedro, I just don't see me getting rid of him really. But just the fixtures coming up, just so good with Sunderland, Wolves and Burnley in the next 5. And then, I could look at midfield, maybe taking out Bruno. He has been pretty underwhelming, to be fair, because I got him in for game week 6, and since then he's blanked and missed a penalty. So yeah, it's not been great. But the thing is with Bruno, he's like this: is he will have a couple of blanks and then a double digit and then a couple of blanks. So maybe the double digit is on the horizon, but it's a tough fixture. And then after that, doesn't get that much better. So maybe I'll switch out Bruno. I might even consider. I probably will sell Anderson, and then it's about who I.
Oh,
yeah,
sell
it's about
Anderson.
who I.
Get off the pub. Get off.
It's about who I consider using that money for the third change, because I might, if I downgraded Bruno to like a cheaper mid and then upgrade Anderson, it's about how much money I've got left, whether or not I save that third one.
Where would you go with Anderson? Where would you go with Anderson?
No, Anderson will go, but it's just whether or not the third change basically will happen. So that's what I'm umming and ahhing over. But yeah, the rest of it feels fine. It does just feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but maybe it's because early in the season, FPL has felt a little bit stale this season. Like a little bit like, we've picked a lot of the same defenders because of DEFCON. We've all pretty much had the same attacks with Reinders and Semenyo. And it's like a previous season me would have been looking for the differentials, but it also feels, because it's so early in the season, it's a bit too risky to be going with that strategy. So it just kind of feels like we're just like, oh, your team looks the same. Your team looks the same. I mean, Minter's probably the exception to that. But yeah, there's probably just a couple of changes, not much else really for me this week.
I'd just roll this week. I'd roll that team, 100%.
I'm just getting bored of rolling. That's the thing, because I rolled last week. But
Craig, I'm a bit jealous of all these people with free transfers. I don't even think I've ever got.
So am I.
Have you ever even got to free transfers? I've never got there.
No, never.
You've got to delete the app.
I'm going to try and save this week. It'll be about the first time I've had 2 transfers, I think.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Roberto's thing, Trig? What you're saying you wouldn't do anything?
I wouldn't do anything here. I'd definitely save. I mean,
Oh.
you could take Fernandez out, but who's better than Fernandez over the next 4 or 5 weeks?
Saka.
Yeah, Saka would be the only one, I guess.
Yeah.
Even that's debatable, though. Yeah, it's debatable.
He keeps missing penalties. They're going to go from him eventually.
I mean, it needed a world-class save to stop him scoring this week. I mean, every week, it's like I said, it's recency bias, I think, putting people off him. It's like Roberto said, he got him in game week 6. He did nothing for a couple of weeks. So he wants to get rid of him. But it doesn't have any impact on what he's going to get going forward, what he got in the last few weeks, unless, of course, he's off penalties, which could be a possibility, I guess.
Leo, you're a Man United fan. What's your thoughts on Bruno?
Just before I say that, I can see FPL Nightmares put in the chat. FPL feels stale, but I don't want to take any risks. I just find it quite funny. On Bruno, it's sometimes I need to separate thinking with my heart and my head. I just don't think things look right just from him positional. He's playing in the midfield like 2 pivot almost. He's not the most mobile. He's playing alongside, however, Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainu. All of them have got no mobility, and he just feels like he's almost holding back a little bit. But from like a stats point of view and underlying data point of view, he's pretty much bang on what he was last year. Like he's 0.2 expected expected non-penalty goals and 0.15, 0.12 expected assists. So like he's kind of there or thereabouts. Like it's not like he's like a million miles away from what he was doing last season.
And the
even in terms of shots, he's getting some shots and things like that. So I still think he's a good pick. I think he's a long-term pick. And like I think Nick, and what Nick mentioned it a minute ago, it's kind of recency bias, and that I think that's what's putting me off having Fernandes back in my wildcard team.
I think I've asked you before. Are they all football shirts?
Oh, those, yeah.
All what from around the world?
All Man United. Nah, most of Man United. This is one of my earliest ones from when I was about 5 years old. Tiny little one. Yeah, I've been a red all my life.
Put your foot into that now, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Kanji's in, saying hello to Roberto. Yeah, it was great to have you on, Kanji. Kanji will be on again soon. Can we do a quick Q&A? I know Roberto's got to go in a minute, but Lee and Nick, you up for that?
Yeah. Keep going with the Q&A.
All right. So I will put
before we start that, I just want to say to Roberto, and I'll paraphrase what you said before about Aston Villa players and Watkins, is you mentioned about moving players on even if the fixtures are bad. Maybe that's something you need to do with João.
I don't know.
Yeah. A word on João Pedro, though. I think he was tired and he had to go to Brazil last time. He's got 2 weeks off now. And I can see this being a real good reset for him. And we could well see the João Pedro come back that we had at the start of the season. So I wouldn't read too much into the last 3 or 4 weeks. So he had 2 games where they had a player sent off, where he had no chance to do anything. Then they played Liverpool last week. So you can pretty much write off the last 3 matches in terms of João Pedro. And the 2-week break could make a real big difference to him. So people taking him out and getting Voltemada in could be heading for a bit of a disaster, in my opinion. But we shall see.
While we're waiting for some questions, I'll just promote, me and Trig, despite the Trig's not going to be appearing on the lock-in every week now, because, he wants to chill out a bit when you've had a bad game week, basically, isn't it, mate? But
when they have a shit week, I do not want to come on when I've had a shit week and be grilled by Gary and told I have to buy the player that's just scored a hat-trick when I didn't own them, and be roasted for a whole hour. So I'd rather play computer games, go for a run, or go and play golf rather than be forced to sit in front of a screen explaining why I did so badly and people telling me I had a shit game week when I already know it. So
you've just got to come back a better manager, Nick. That's the way to do
hopefully I'll be on most weeks. I'll be like Roberto and just come on when I've got 85 points.
Well, with Mental Health Awareness Day 2 days' time, that's the sort of thing you should do, isn't it? To look after your mental health.
That's right.
But you will be on this Saturday. We're going to do some sort of Q&A, aren't we, Trig? And I will promote the special pubcast we're doing next week, Trig, which is going to be at 10 o'clock. So we're going to do 2 episodes, aren't we, Trig, I believe?
Oh, yeah. Very exciting.
10 o'clock on Wednesday morning, we will be streaming with an hour with Joe from Fantasy Football Scout, because he can only do it during the day. And Trig will be able to drink for a change instead of me, because it will be nighttime there. And then me and Trig, probably by ourselves, maybe with some other people, will be doing one at 6 o'clock on Thursday. So that should be quite. I was saying on my members only video, Trig, you're don't very often see you fanboy out, but you're a big fan of Joe, aren't you? You're saying you've got lots of questions you want to give to him and stuff.
Yeah. So if anyone's got a question for Joe, it would be good to put in that we can pose to Joe next week when he's on.
Yeah. I mean,
so I think we want to talk about things like shots in the box and that, don't we? And whether they're still relevant and whether he still uses shots in the box rather than review and all of those type of things.
Yeah, me and you should have a chat and put a list of questions together. Yeah, because I don't know if you, I'm sure, but he came on your podcast last year, didn't he, Roberto?
He did, yeah.
Lovely, great. He's a lovely bloke, isn't he? Absolutely lovely bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on to a few questions. Colm is saying, how do you feel about game week 15 free hit targeting the free promoted teams? Any idea, lads? It's difficult without having the fixtures in front of you, isn't it?
Which week?
Yeah.
15,
That's
mate.
when we get-
15.
That's when
Oh,
we get the
God
5 free
knows.
transfers, don't we?
By then, the whole league might have changed. You know, who knows?
Yeah. Isn't it 17 we get the free transfers?
Oh, I don't know. I just made it up.
16 or
think
17?
I think it's
16, my
going
bad.
into 16. I think
Is
it's
it?
going into 16.
Yeah. I guess
People are already planning to like use them, aren't they? And like,
Mm.
oh, I'm going to get my free transfers and make a bench boost. I'm just going to try and keep mine all the way till game week 30, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, good one.
Hmm. Okay. What are your thoughts on? Oh, Paul is just saying Palmer's picked up a new injury. Are you aware of this, Nick?
Well, I think it's the same one. When Hatto jumped on him when they were celebrating the other
I saw
day, he did his groin in again, didn't he?
Yeah.
But, it's just one of those nagging kind of chronic groin injuries that isn't going to clear up. And, you know, like even aggravated it just celebrating. So I know what they're like. I had one for like 2 years and it just did not clear up. I thought it was never going to clear up. I was always at the physio. And then one day I just did this new kind of technique with a new physio and it worked. But it's going to be very hard for him to clear that injury up playing professional football. So I don't think we're going to see him back anytime soon, to be honest.
I thought I saw a quote from on X before we started. It's going to be a matter of weeks rather than months or days. Mark is saying, what are your thoughts on Thiago as a third forward? You considered him, Lee, in your wild card?
No, not at all. I'm just not convinced. He's kind of similar to what Nick was saying before about recency bias. Scored a couple of good goals. Looks decent for one game. He's a good price point. Like if you can't get to others, like other players, and to be fair, like the forwards aren't really firing. So if you kind of believe in the play and you think you can see something, I wouldn't ever say like don't buy someone. He's just not for me.
I think he'd work better if like if Palmer and that was around, then he'd be a better option, wouldn't he? But at the moment, I don't think we need, you know, I mean, you could have Haaland with the lead striker, Calvert-Lewin. You could have Haaland with Calvert-Lewin and Thiago, and you'd have a great defence, great midfield, and it would look really good. But with Palmer and that out, I don't think we're that strapped for cash.
No.
Where we need to do that yet, are we? I mean, and the jury's still out on Gyökeres, I think. I mean, it could just click for him at any time. It could be a case of recency bias with him as well. But, you know, I mean, even Wirtz, like I was saying in my video, first 7 weeks he did nothing. Next 7, it could be 2 goals and 5 assists or something like that. We just don't know at this stage. But, yeah, that's why I wouldn't like to wildcard, because I think that's why you've kept Reinders in, isn't it? Because you're scared to
Don't
take
say
him
that.
out.
I've already activated
Because
it.
you know what's going to you know what's going to happen to it if if you take Reinders out, and because he has looked like he's going to get points every week. Reinders, there's holes in him. He's got holes in him. As long as Pep keeps picking him, I wouldn't be willing to take him out.
No, I agree.
Paul is
It
saying,
feels like an early man sometimes.
Paul saying keep Salah or sell to Saka. What do you do, Trig? Sell. It's got to be sell on it.
Yeah, well, it depends how much you want to follow everybody else, I guess. It's tricky. I mean, you could wait for one more game. I mean, it could change after the international break. We just don't know. Yeah, he did look quite threatening at times the other day. He had a couple of shots, didn't he? But they both went over the bar. But, yeah, I don't know if you've got both. Do you change now? Because, like, reviewing that are actually recommending getting Saka back in, aren't they? I mean, getting Salah back in.
Really?
So if you've already got them both, is now the time to get rid? I don't know if it is.
I'm not
It's a
sure.
difficult decision.
Just to throw it out there as well, and as much as it pains me, he's got a really good record against Man United. So I think holding him for this week might not be the worst idea in the world.
Yeah. I don't think I would change, if I'd already made the decision to have both. I don't think I'd be bailing on it.
Uo is saying, is Roberto FPL Harry's younger brother? He is the better looking version of FPL Harry. That's what I'm going to say. Particularly because Harry continues to ignore my request to get him an interview. Gyökeres or Bowen? Asked Tyler Lee.
I'm going to say Bowen because he's in my team, but I think they're both decent. I think the money you're saving on going to Bowen over Gyökeres is a big factor for me, and the fact that you can go and get you can upgrade most 4.5 defenders and go and get another Arsenal defender is kind of what separates it for me. I still think Gyökeres will do fine, but the fact he's not locked in on penalties puts me off a little bit. So I'd go Bowen personally, but if you want to stick with Gyökeres, that's completely fine as well. I'm sure both of them will score goals over the next few games.
One for all of us here from our good old friend FPL Hippie. What discontinued snacks or sweets do the panel miss? Not sure. I was trying to think that one. You guys got any? I mean, I hate most discontinued things. I was thinking sneakers. That's still around? They're probably still around.
Sneakers? You mean Snickers?
Yeah, but I hated them. I hate any sort of chocolate with nuts in it. I love chocolate.
Snickers are still around, no?
No, they're still around. I'm trying to think. Might come back to that one. I
can't think of any ones that have been discontinued.
No, neither do I. Repentant Master.
Apart from space dust.
I'm not going to question what that means anymore. That's probably what Hippie's on.
Well, so Hippie know what space dust is.
Yeah, he's probably on it.
Have space dust.
Probably what inspired that question.
No, it's not.
It's a sweet. It's a sweet, isn't it? Like sherbet.
Yeah, sweet. It like used to pop.
I remember it. I remember it. That was quite cool. Repentant Master, kudos or reindeers for playing every week. Greg? Kudos or reindeers?
Kudos or reindeers. Difficult. They're pretty much of a muchness, I think. Although, yeah, maybe kudos. But Tottenham have had really good fixtures, and I'm not sure we're going to keep it up. Yeah, I don't know, really. Pass on that one. It's too difficult. Either of them could do better than the other.
AJ says, opinion on Foster as my third attacker for bench boost. Any thoughts on that one, Lee?
This is the 5 million one. A bench boost in 8.
Doesn't
Leeds
say
at home.
Assume he's benching this week. Yeah. Didn't say which game week.
Yeah, not bad. I think he's done okay, hasn't he, Foster?
Is he nailed on? I don't know. I haven't really looked at Foster.
Just checking his stats now. He started every game. The last 3, he's not completed 90 minutes. He's only got 1 goal and 1 assist in 7 games. It's kind of what you expect from a newly promoted striker. Up against Leeds, I don't think it's the worst time to consider a bench boost.
I mean, is it at the moment? Is he stuck on one of the non-playing strikers and wants to play his bench boost and bring him in? Is that what he wants to do?
Possibly. You can let us know in the chat. Uwe is saying, how much money did it take to get Trig to appear this evening? He needs to be on every night. I'm here for you at Trig Talks FPL. We all love you, mate. Very much second that one. We've got a few. The chat is going so far, so I apologise if I miss your question. We've got some Fuse Bars, Aramac, Early Whirly, Cheese Moments. I do remember Cheese Moments. They were very nice. Yeah, Cheese Moments were very nice. Has Curly
Wheelie been discontinued?
No, I've not had it.
I know we're a lot smaller. I know that, but everything is, isn't it?
I thought you could still get them.
Yeah, they're a lot smaller though, aren't they?
I used to love Curly Wheelie.
Yeah, Curly, it's nice. FPL Nightmare has a question. Do people obsess over penalties too much when teams generally get a handful every season? What are your thoughts, Lee?
Yeah, 100%. But it's part of the game. Like, you hear people complain sometimes when there's a 90-minute and people complain about this player playing 90 minutes, who then eventually gets the penalties. But United have had 3 penalties in the first 7 games. Like, we're not going to go and get 18, 19, 20 penalties. Like, we're probably going to end up maybe 6 or 7. I think you just need to. It has to come into consideration at some point. But as long as there's other avenues of points, then it doesn't have to be like the be all and end all. But it definitely influences decisions for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember that season, Trig, when that Crystal Palace midfielder with a really unpronounceable name? We're going back pre-COVID here, probably 2018-19. Milikovic or something, Crystal Palace midfielder. Do you remember when he had about like 11, 12 penalties in a season, but otherwise he was absolutely useless? Remember him?
Yeah. But penalties, I don't know. You say we don't get many penalties, but like, look at this week. Voltemada got 1, and Dye got 1. The other week, blooming Semenyo got 1, and like, it feels like people are always getting penalties.
Bruno misses them.
So you say that we overdo them, but everyone seems to be getting them. So maybe we don't. Saka got 1 too. I brought him in. He gets a penalty first week I've got him. So I think they are important, aren't they?
Andrew Barton says Eze and Saka in thoughts. Sure, that's too much Arsenal attack, isn't it, Trig?
Eze and Saka, well, maybe not. I mean, it's more of a minutes with Eze, though, isn't it? More of a minutes. He hasn't really nailed down a spot yet, has he?
Did someone say Odegaard was injured for 2 months?
That could make a difference, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes that other guy plays it in midfield as well, doesn't he? The one who used to replace Saka on the wing, the young guy, in Weary or whatever his name is.
Best free.
No, I think Eze could be good.
Best free hit defenders in this week. I would say Tribble Burnley. Based on our things. Any thoughts, lads?
We haven't seen the Rob T's projections yet, have we? With,
no, we'll do that next week.
The clean sheet odds, so I don't really know. I haven't really seen who's got the easiest fixture this week.
Yeah,
Man City have got Everton at home, probably triple City, maybe. Couple City and Haaland.
Yeah, you'd want for Guardiola again, wouldn't you? Has he been playing on as a wing back? Or has he been playing central defence?
I don't actually know where he's been playing.
Because the other one's out, isn't he? Nori hasn't been playing, has he? So
yeah, these are 2 contrasting questions. Cat Sports has tuned in late, but might have covered it. Is it time to sell Salah? We have already sort of discussed that, Cat Sports, if you watch back. And then Repentant Master says triple captain Salah versus Man United defence. Go to that one.
It's up to whatever manager wants to do there. I'm not going to advise either way. Like I mentioned before, like Salah's got a good record against United playing at home. Feels at any moment he's going to explode. If you're feeling it and you fancy it, go for it. But don't blame me if it all goes up in smoke.
It doesn't really feel like he's going to explode, though, does it? Because he hasn't done much. But it could change, couldn't it? It could change pretty quickly. Maybe Isaac will explode.
Yeah, potentially.
He could be the next one, couldn't he? Or like I said, Wirtz. No one believes it, but it could happen. Apparently he did it in Germany last year. In Germany, he didn't get anything for the first 7 games, and then he got massive amount of points for the next 7. So
I like that.
He's still a good player in there.
I love this. I love this question. Studs up FPL comment. Happy belated birthday, Gary. I'm not sure how old you are, but happy 80th birthday to your bladder. Okay. I'm sorry if I've missed any questions. You've got a couple of picnic and topic. Remember those ones? The old bars.
Yeah, they're still around, aren't they? Nearly knocked one of my fillings out the other day. I had a picnic, I think.
I never just.
They wanted
mate.
Nuts again. We are the ones with nuts in, aren't they?
Nuts are lovely. Chocolate is lovely, but okay, we've run out of questions, so we've been going for an hour and a half.
My favourite's Twix, I think.
Twix. Not really a big fan of Twix.
We used to
anymore.
call them Raiders when I was living in Greece. So it's called Raiders for some reason.
No, I don't understand why they put the crunchy bit in.
What in the Twix?
Yeah, I've never been a fan of it. This
That's my favourite.
This is great FPL content. So I just shut the poll. It's not come up for me as usual, but it changed around. 55% recognise your wildcard, Trig.
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, your team's no worse than the wildcard teams. Might apart from Concer, maybe.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one between maybe Saturday night's lock-in will be me on wildcard, Trig, and we can go through that. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see.
It's too late for you to do it this week anyway. You missed a whole load of price rise. Although actually, most of the ones that rose in price are the ones you've already got though, so you haven't really missed much.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you have missed any price rises really, because I don't know who you'd bring in. You're only going to bring Saka in, and you can do that with your free transfer.
Claire FPL voted no, and I do take Claire's opinion forward. All right, lads, should we wrap it up? So, just a little bit of admin I will give. Yeah, so me and Trig will be doing the FPL lock-in this Saturday, doing something, maybe talking about my wild card. Football Content Creator Awards, I promise, be the penultimate time I plug it, because the voting shuts on Sunday. If you want to vote for us, please do. But if you want to vote for great content creators like FPL Nightmare, Goose, Elite FPL, just go and vote. It's a democratic process. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. As I say, all of this stream is always done for charity. Any money, including the super chat we got earlier, will be going to those charities. And I usually wrap up by saying, where can we find you? Punk, I'll come to you first. Obviously, I've linked your channel in the chat. Getting very close to 1,000 subscribers, I see as well.
I am indeed. I've been making videos for a few years now, and it's within touching distance. I just can't seem to get there. But yeah, come check it out. Subscribe if you want. I'd rather you save the clicks and subscribe to Gary's channel here. It's great, and get some really good guests on here and some really good opinions. So,
well, I'd say everyone, links in the chat, 2 clicks. Go and click on Punk's channel and hit that subscribe button. Get him over 1,000. Trig,
get him over 1,000, like Gary was begging everyone to do on his channel. Not so long ago.
I'm begging everyone. I'm begging other people now. I'm begging for other people. So, Nightmare's saying Punk is great. I do enjoy his videos. Well worth watch. I 100%.
I appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Trig, as if anyone needs reminding, or everyone knows who you are, but where can we find you, mate?
Oh, Trig Talks FPL on YouTube. That's about it. And get over there and get me over I don't bother actually. I don't really. I don't even know how many subscribers I've got.
Your subscribers, you had tons in the pre-season, and you sort of slowed down a bit. You went up like 500, didn't you?
There was a time when I used to lose them every week because I used to be a lot more controversial than I am now. So I'd be slagging so many people off.
Yeah,
I'd be losing more than I was gaining.
Oh, I did really like your little chess thing there. Little chess.
Yeah, I'm doing that every day now. Instead of an I subscribe screen, I just go out with a game of 1 minute chess. And people can just leave if they don't like it, or they can stay and watch 1 minute game of chess. And
I love it, mate. I love it.
I'm going to lose one soon. I haven't lost any of those ones yet, but because I'm always playing people with the same rating, I lose as many as I win. So it's only a matter of time. But I try and put more effort in when I'm on live to the games. So maybe I'll keep winning them.
FPL CK saying I love Punk. Paul saying he's gone and subscribed. Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please join me and Trig on Saturday for the lock-in. We'll be talking about something. And as I say, next week, we'll be on at 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning, UK time, and then 6 p.m. on Thursday night. It's going to be a good one, Trig. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I've got a good fan in the audience who seems to...
shouting you out a lot.
All
Right,
Is
cheers,
that how
Sean.
you pronounce it? Ooh.
That's how I do it, yeah. Misses. Misses. Right, kids, everyone for watching, and we'll see you on Saturday.